Hello and welcome to Young Minds versus Physics. So, learning physics is a fun. Right, this center of mass has started on the request of the subscribers. So, we shall go with both the chapters, one from 11th class center of mass and the other one 12th class electrostatics. Already I started that one and uploaded yesterday. And now today, center of mass. So, to understand center of mass, just I want to narrate an incident from Hindu epic Ramayana. Most of you might have heard Ramayana and you know it. Right? One day when Sita as a child was playing, right, the ball goes inside the puja room, right, and then underneath the table, like where Shivdanush was put on. And this Shivdanush is very, very heavy, right? And to the surprise of Janaka, the father of Sita, and all the other people, she just pushed it with her hand so that the table moved and then she could find her ball. So everybody was surprised. So thinking that how Sita was able to do that when many people, when at least 2 or 3 people are needed to lift the table and keep it aside. Right, so here I always feel like that maybe Sita knows physics very well and she knows where to apply the force so that the whole body moves. So that point where she has to apply the force. And that point I relate it to center of mass. So center of mass is that point which defines the movement of the body as a whole. Or rather, you can also say that point where the total mass of the body seems to act. Right? When it has to be pushed or pulled. Or when it is supposed to be moved. Right? So, to have a clarification in what we are discussing, just look at this example. So, here is a heavy bob, heavy object and a very lighter one connected with a rod. So, now suppose if I apply a force here, does the body as a whole move? No. Here what happens? Right. What happens? This turns like this by an angle. Instead of being horizontal like this, it has turned by certain angle. That means here you can see that there is a problem with the camera zooming. Is it clear or you are able to see it as a blurred image? Right. Okay, so this is not getting displaced as a whole. The body as a whole, it is not moving. Instead, it is coming into rotation. So where do you think that you have to apply force in order to make the body move as a whole? Here, this line, which is the point which is near to the heavier mass. So then the body can be rolled or can be moved like this. And if we see this example, right, if we see this example, right, here there is a huge frame where 2 people are trying to move that one, right, and they are moving it like this. Instead, if they try to apply the force here, then it would have become very easy for them to move, right, because this is the point which balances the whole body, right, if you make it half here, right, and these points, like suppose for this half of the body, this is going to be the center of mass, And for this half of the body, this is going to be the center of mass. So this is how like center of mass is that point. By application of force, the whole body moves, right? So, or rather, we can also say that center of mass is the point where the total mass of the body seems to concentrate. So now, if we try to find out center of mass of two particles, right? Let m1 and m2 be the masses of the two particles at points A and B. And along the line joining these masses, let us suppose that at P the center of mass lies. Right? At this point, the center of mass lies. So, center of mass lies in such a manner that M1AP is equal to M2BP, or M1 by M2 is equal to like BP by AP. The same concept if we are going to apply it to position vector form. Right? Position vector means how? Let us suppose that M1 is at this point, M2 is at this point. Now the position vector of M1 is R1 bar. The position vector of M2 is R2 bar. And let us suppose that on the line joining M1 and M2 at this point, you have center of mass. So let this be center of mass, the point where the total mass seems to act, or the point where an application of the force whole body seems to move, right? So now here, let this be the position vector of center of mass. Now you have R1 bar, the position vector of M1 with respect to center of mass. That means if you imagine center of mass to be the origin, with respect to this is the position vector R1 bar, the position of mass M1, and with respect to center of mass, the position vector of M2 is R2 bar prime. R1 bar prime and R2 bar prime are R1 bar dash, R1 dash bar, R2 dash bar. So now according to this concept, what you have seen already, M1AP is equal to M2BP. According to this concept, right, you have M1 R1 dash bar is equal to minus M2 R2 bar dash. Why are we getting minus here? Because I am taking it in the vector form and both the vectors are opposite to each other. Both the vectors are opposite to each other. Right. So now from R1 bar dash, like from this particular vector notation, you can see that R1 prime bar or R1 dash bar, this vector is R1 bar minus RCM bar, is it not? R1 bar minus RCM bar, right? You have seen already the difference of vectors. And similarly, R2 dash prime is equal to R2 bar minus RCM bar. So thus on substitution and further simplification, you will get RCM bar is equal to M1 R1 bar plus M2 R2 bar by M1 plus M2. Right? M1 R1 bar plus M2 R2 bar by M1 plus M2. Yes, the same concept if I apply to system of particles, right? Where M1, M2, M3 and so on like Mn. When these particles are having the position vectors R1 bar, R2 bar, R3 bar and so on, then RCM bar is given by M1 R1 bar plus M2 R2 bar plus so on plus Mn Rn bar divided by total mass. Of course, sum of the masses of all the particles. This is how you can find out the position vector of center of mass. Okay, this is the position vector of center of mass. So this is the general form. This is the general form of writing RCM bar. Say taking summation on it, right? So sigma I is equal to 1 to n. So mi Ri bar divided by sigma I is equal to 1 to n. Mi, if this is a this is something like all the particles inside the body, then this summation will be equal to the total mass of the body, capital M. So total mass of the body, capital M, that is sigma mi Ri bar by capital M. This is the position vector of center of mass, general formula. Okay, like when mass of the total mass of the body is given to us. Right. Now the same concept if I apply to coordinate system. That means if we wanted to now note down or find out the coordinates of center of mass. That means where is center of mass located in the Cartesian coordinate system, right, or in space, like how to find it out. So just with respect to like x-axis, let us imagine that there are two particles m1 and m2 with the distance of x1 and x2 from y-axis. That means x coordinates of m1 and m2 are x1 and x2. Let us suppose that on the line joining these two particles, there is a center of mass for these two particles, right? And this is at a distance of x cm, that is from y-axis, or we can say that this is the x coordinate of center of mass. Now from the diagram it is very clear. If I want cm, right, center of mass, everything I have to change it in terms of center of mass. See, we have already discussed m1 r1 must be equal to m2 r2 in order that center of mass is here. So m1 r1 is equal to m2 r2. Now r1 in terms of xcm is xcm minus x1. So this is the part. Now r2 in terms of xcm. So total x2. From that you remove this part, that is xcm. So you will be getting this one, r2. So therefore r1 is equal to xcm minus x1 and r2 is equal to x2 minus xcm. So just substituting in this equation and further simplification, you get this x coordinate for two particles with their x coordinate values are x1 and x2 are m1 x1 plus m2 x2 divided by m1 plus m2. Similarly, we can extend the same topic to ycm as well as zcm, where m1 y1 plus m2 y2 by m1 plus m2, m1 z1 plus m2 z2 by m1 plus m2. So where these are the formulae for the x, y, z coordinates of center of mass, when like all the masses of the particles inside the body and their x coordinates, y coordinates and z coordinates are given. Right, so that is sigma mi xi by capital M, sigma mi yi by capital M, sigma mi zi by capital M, where center of mass is a point with xcm, ycm, zcm as the coordinates of the point. Okay, so this is about the generalization of the topic. Like we are starting everywhere with two masses or a two particle system, and then we are extending it to n particle system, right? So starting with the two particle system and then expanding the same concept to n particle system, we are getting this one as a solution. So please note it down. Now as an application to what we have learned, let us see if such situations are given, how to determine the shift in center of mass. Like suppose if one of the particle is either moved away from or moved towards another particle, so how does the center of mass shift? So this is means many ways center of mass problems can be asked in any manner. So we go level by level, where this one you take as an introductory video, and then in this also just look at like how to think in which direction we need to proceed in order to find the solution. Okay, so now let us suppose that this is a center of mass to a two particle system with m1 and m2, right? Initially at a total distance of r, let us suppose, right? Let us suppose that initially at a total distance of r, where r1 can be written as r minus r2 or r2 can be written as r minus r1, is not absolutely, because r1 plus r2 is r. Now in this particular situation, this is a situation initially. So therefore according to the concept of center of mass, this is how you have to write m1 by m2 is equal to r1 by r2. R in place of r2 you can write r minus r1. Thus you know r1 is equal to m2r by m1 plus m2. So what is r1 here? The location of center of mass, right? Where is the center of mass with respect to m1, or at what distance is center of mass from mass m1. So this is the meaning of this equation. That means we have derived this equation keeping in view that how to locate center of mass with respect to the given mass, right? With respect to one of the particles. So here when I say it is r1 is equal to, that means what is r1? R1 is the distance of center of mass from m1. So R1 is equal to M2R by M1 plus M2. Similarly, you can also find out R2, where R2 is equal to M1R by M1 plus M2. Similarly, you will be getting R2 is equal to M1R by M1 plus M2. If you want, I'll write it here. R2 is equal to M1R by M1 plus M2. So this is how you can locate the center of mass with respect to the given masses. Okay, right? This is the initial situation. Now the point here is, let us suppose that this M1 is moved away from M2 or away from center of mass by a distance of x. Okay, by a distance of x. How to think and then draw a general relationship or like a general equation to find such problems or to solve such problems. Okay, now what is the distance between two masses right now? Already the distance between two masses was given to be r. Now the mass is moved away by x. So therefore what is the distance of separation? Distance of separation is r plus x. Right? Distance of separation is now r plus x. I know this value now. Distance of separation I know now. What I want is this value, that is the distance of center of mass from first particle. Let this be first particle m1 and the distance let it be d1. Now d1, applying this concept here, beautifully you can just interpret this one. d1 is equal to m2 into distance of separation by m1 plus m2. Right, distance of separation here is r plus x by m1 plus m2. Beautiful, is it not? So therefore d1 is equal to, now the distance of center of mass from first particle in the second scenario where the particle is moved by a distance of x away from the center of mass is d1 is equal to simple m2 into distance of separation between two particles by m1 plus m2. If this is asked, like the distance of like center of mass from m2, then you will have m1 into distance of separation r plus x by m1 plus m2. Beautiful, isn't it? Very, very beautiful. Now we wanted to find the shift in center of mass. We want to find the shift in center of mass. So therefore that is the difference between the two distances d1 and r1. So that is m2x by m1 plus m2. Like just find out the difference between these two. You will be left with this finally. You will be left with this answer. Clear? So just find the difference between these two. So m2r by m1 plus m2, m2r by m1 plus m2 will get cancelled. You are left with m2x by m1 plus m2. So that is m2x by m1 plus m2. I am not like giving you whether r1 minus d1 or d1 minus r1. I am just giving you the difference between the two. Based on the question, you have to see like in which direction did the center of mass shift. So here the center of mass is shifting in the leftward direction, that is along the negative x-axis. Right? Along the negative x-axis. Right. So please make a note of this very, very important concept and really interesting also. Now let us see the problems. Right. Locate the center of mass of system of particles of mass 1 kg, 2 kg and 3 kg situated at the corners of an equilateral triangle of side B. Very easy. Given to be the equilateral triangle of side B. Right, so now if we imagine that particle A that is of 1 kg is here, 2 kg here and 3 kg in order, we are taking in cyclic order, right? So now this is 0, 0 and now if you observe this one, so the x coordinate of this point will be B and the y coordinate is 0 because we have considered that to be on x-axis. Right, the other one, this one we have to find out. Right, this is an equilateral triangle, so therefore this is exactly at the midpoint of these two. Therefore, the x coordinate will be b by 2, comma. Now we have to find out the y coordinate. What is the y coordinate? This is this height. Height of the triangle is the y coordinate. So now you have b by 2 here and b here. So now b square minus b square by 4 under root is 3b square by 4 under root is b root 3 by 2. So this is b root 3 by 2 is the height here, like applying Pythagoras theorem. So therefore b root 3 by 2 are the coordinates. So now you know the coordinates, right? So in this problem, it's very easy to like find out the coordinates, like, and now therefore we can locate the center of mass using the coordinates like x1 comma y1, x2 comma y2, x3 comma y3 are given to us. Now what is xcm is equal to, so m1 x1, what is m1? 1 kg, the x1 being 0, that is at the origin, plus m2 being 2 kgs, that is on x-axis at a distance of b, plus m3 x3, m3 being 3 kgs into x3 is b by 2. So m1 x1 plus m2 x2 plus m3 x3 divided by total mass being 1 plus 2 plus 3, that is 6. So let us simplify that. So this is 2b. So this becomes 0. 2b plus 3b by 2 is 4b plus 3b is 7b by 2 is 7b by 12. So you got xcm to be equal to 7b by 12. And in a similar manner, let us find out ycm. So what is ycm? In the first case it is 0, right? Because 1 into 0. Second one also 2 into 0 plus 0. Now plus third mass is at a location of b root 3 by 2. So therefore it is 3 into b root 3 by 2 by 6 as it is. So 1 plus 2 plus 3. So here it is b into 3 root 3 by 12 4 times. So b root 3 by 4. So we got ycm to be b root 3 by 4. And similarly, let us find out zcm. Do you have? Yes, because this is given in a xy plane, you don't have zcm here. So therefore, what is center of mass? What are the coordinates of center of mass? xcm comma ycm, 7b by 12 comma b root 3 by 4. Right? So these are the coordinates of center of mass. Those who want, very basic application, very basic application, but those who want can make a note of it. Now next problem, find the center of mass of uniform L-shaped lamina. A thin flat plate as shown in the figure, right? Okay, so this is a rectangular lamina here. If we understand it to be, it is another rectangular lamina, or I think this is square lamina. This is square and this is rectangle. So at the intersection of the diagonals, the center of mass lies, because this is of uniform distribution of mass. Anyhow, uniform distribution of mass concept that we are going to learn in detail when it comes to three-dimensional objects, right? So like rigid bodies like sphere, cone and all that. But here it's a rectangular sheet. You know very well that it lies at the point of intersection of the diagonals, right? So now what is the basic concept of center of mass? Center of mass means we are taking that the whole mass is located at this point, is it not? Right? So now what are the center of mass of L-shaped lamina, and the mass of this is given to be like the location of this center of mass is given to be like here, right? So at what distance can we take it to be x and then y, right? So now here total is 2 meters. So therefore it lies at 1, 0 location. Like this point is 1, 0. But where is this? This lies at this point. That is midway between these two. So therefore this is 1, 1 by 2. 1, 1 by 2. And what about this one? So what about this one? Here this is half of this one. That is 1 by 2. X coordinate is 1 by 2, comma y coordinate is 1 by 2 plus 1 is 3 by 2. We have 1 by 2, comma 3 by 2. Excuse me. So now what is that which is not given to us to find out center of mass? Here we don't know the mass of this one. Okay? But in the problem they are asking us to find out the center of mass. So now how are we going to find out the center of mass? So that means we have xc like x1 y1 and x2 y2, whatever it is, whichever order we take. So you can find out xcm ycm. But how are we going to determine? See, this is of what is that he gave us a hint is uniform L-shaped lamina. You must understand what it means. It is something like, let me draw the plate like this. So this is an uniform plate, like suppose the thickness is going to be the same everywhere. Right? So now if you want mass is equal to volume into density, and density of the whole material is same here. Right? So therefore M1 is equal to A1 into thickness being T1 into rho. Right? So this is how the mass can be determined. This is how mass can be determined. That is means area into thickness into density. Here thickness is same for both. The thickness is same for both. So therefore you will write, suppose whenever you wanted to write m1x1 plus m2x2 divided by m1 plus m2. Come on, let us substitute that part here to generalize in terms of area. So I'll write it as a1 t1 rho x1 plus a2 t is same for both, right? T2 rho, that means I am taking in place of t1 and t2 t only, x2 divided by, and t rho is common in both, so therefore a1 plus a2. So here see beautifully these two are getting cancelled, and the equation is turning out to be a1 x1 plus a2 x2 divided by a1 plus a2. Got it? So these details, like this one I chose it here because this may help you in understanding the uniform distribution of the mass in rigid bodies. Okay, so that is why I took this example, so as to make you, or so as to introduce the concept of understanding how to consider volume into density in place of mass. Okay, so now here let us suppose that if this is M1 and this is of M2, two masses are there, like area being A1 here, area being A2 here, X1 is here, X2 is here, Y1 is here, Y2 is here. Now let us substitute in this one. So therefore XCM is equal to, so I will write A1 X1 plus A2 X2 divided by A1 plus A2. Okay, so what is A1? It is a square lamina, 1 into 1 is 1. So therefore 1 everywhere, so 1 by 2 is taken common here. So or like rather x1 is 1 by 2 plus 1 into the other one is 1 divided by 1. Area of the first one, the first lamina area is 1 and the second lamina area is, what is the area of this one? Length is 2, breadth is 1, 2 into 1 is 2. Right? So therefore, so A1 x1, x1 being 1 by 2, A1 being 1. Now A2 x2, so x2 being 1 and A2 being 2. Divided by A1 plus A2, 1 plus 2. So this is going to be 1 by 2 plus 2 is 2 2s are 4, 4 plus 1, 5. 5 by 2 into 3, 6. So you got XCM is equal to 5 by 6. And in a similar manner, YCM is equal to, so A1 Y1, A1 is 1 which belongs to the square lamina, area of the square lamina. And then next this is 3 by 2. So therefore it is 1 into 3 by 2 is 3 by 2. Plus A2 Y2, Y2 is 1 by 2. Right, and A2 is also 2. So 1 by 2 into 2 divided by 2 plus 1, 3 as it is 2, 2 will get cancelled. So 3 by 2 plus 1 is 2 ones are 2 plus 3, 5 by 2, that is 5 by 6. So in both the cases you got 5 by 6 and 5 by 6. So therefore where is the center of mass? So what are the coordinates of center of mass? 5 by 6 comma 5 by 6. Right? If you are asked to find out the position vector of center of mass, also not an issue, because you know the coordinates. You can write 5 by 6 I cap plus 5 by 6 j cap will be the position vector of center of mass, RCM bar. Very, very important concept. Make a note of it. So just I'll try to give a second time explanation here. The second a repetition of this explanation. So in the problem we were not provided with the mass. It is our job to find out mass, because here always you are getting the ratios of masses. It is not necessary that particularly we know everything of it, right? So as if here we don't know the thickness and the density of it. So but here mass is equal to area into thickness into density. Of course for area it is given. So like when you substitute in these values, you can see that the total mass relationship, whatever is there, including the masses, the relationship for center of mass including the masses, that can be converted into areas. Right, so therefore the area of this square lamina and area of the rectangular lamina, if we know those two, we can automatically solve the problems. Like a1 x1 plus a2 x2 divided by a1 plus a2. Similarly, a1 y1 plus a2 y2 divided by a1 plus a2. Beautiful concept, and we applied and we got xcm ycm to be like this. Therefore, center of mass coordinates are 5 by 6 comma 5 by 6. And if you are asked to find the position vector of center of mass, let me write it down. That is equal to 5 by 6 I cap plus 5 by 6 j cap. This you can understand, like how to write the position vector, like from vectors video, like when you just, if those people who don't know the vectors, just you can see, like you can watch my videos based on vectors, and from there you can understand how to write the position vector form. Okay. Right, make a note of it. Yes, now directly the problem here is like to find out the position vector of center of mass, where the problem is given like this. One mass is on x-axis, one mass is on y-axis, where the x coordinate of the first mass is A and y coordinate of the second mass is B. Beautiful. So you know R1 bar, R2 bar, right? The position vectors here, right? Like what we want here is position vector of center of mass. That means we want to find out the location of center of mass, right? The location of center of mass, or if you know the location of the center of mass, as just we did in the previous problem, you can find out like based on that xi cap plus yj cap, where x comma y being the location of center of mass, you can write it as xi cap plus yj cap as the position vector. But here we also have one more concept. We learnt it just before. Like that means if m1 and m2 have the position vectors like r1 bar and r2 bar, then the center of mass RCM bar is equal to M1 R1 bar plus M2 R2 bar divided by M1 plus M2. Beautiful. So you can use that one. That means we have to write the position vector of this one. R1 bar is equal to AI cap, because there is no J coordinate or K coordinate, or rather we say Y and Z coordinates are not there. Right, and the other one R2 bar is equal to BJ cap, and you have in both the cases here M1 is equal to M and M2 is also equal to M. Now our job is to find out RCM bar. Very easy. So therefore M1 R1 bar plus M2 R2 bar divided by M1 plus M2. Dear students, it's very important for you to know vectors before you go for center of mass concept. So therefore M AI cap plus M BJ cap divided by M1 plus M2 being 2M. Right, so therefore MM will get cancelled. Therefore AI cap plus BJ cap by 2, or 1 by 2 times of AI cap plus BJ cap is the position vector of center of mass. Make a note of it. So what did we do here? So we took the position vectors of both the masses and then we substituted in the formula. And if you want, you can also do it like this. So a comma 0, the coordinates of it, 0 comma b being the coordinates of it, on the line joining these two center of mass somewhere, and find out xcm and then ycm, and then xcm I cap plus ycm j cap gives you the position vector of center of mass. In either way you can do it, but this is the most easiest and the direct method. Straight away, without even using your pen and pencil, you can just directly write the answer. Now, the last problem for today, or in this video, right? So now here, a uniform square plate has a mass. So in this case, mass is given. Right? Just in the second problem, what we have seen today, the rectangular lamina and the square lamina or L-shaped lamina, their mass was not given. But here mass is given. So where does the mass of this square lie? It lies exactly here. Right? At the intersection of the diagonals. Right? Now, two masses of 2 kg are placed at B and C. So, suddenly what happened? Two masses are brought here at corners B and C. Each one of 2 kg. What is the shift in center of mass? Beautiful. What is the shift in center of mass? Forget about the rectangular lamina. Forget about these two masses. Directly, you can take this as M1. Okay. Right. So, where is this one? This is somewhere here. Right. If I extend this like this also, not an issue. Right. So, this is somewhere on y-axis, let us suppose, at a distance of L by 2. Okay. Clear? So, we have mass M1 to be here, which is 4 kg. Now, there is no rectangular lamina. There is no square lamina. There is no sheet. Nothing. Only one mass here. Right? At what location? Here it is at L by 2. Okay. Now, because of these two, center of mass lies exactly midway. So, that means this and these are separated by a distance of L by 2. Beautiful. And the total mass seem to be appearing here only. Again 4 kg, 2 kg plus 2 kg, 4 kg. What is the center of mass? Where the total mass seems to concentrate. Here for the whole thing also 4 kg is here. For these two 4 kg is here. Beautiful. Now two 4 kg masses are separated by a distance of L by 2. Now where is the center of mass? Center of mass lies exactly midway between them. That is L by 4. Beautiful. So what is the shift? Shift in center of mass is L by 4 along positive y-axis. If nothing is given, you can write it like this, or upward, right, towards B and C, perpendicularly upward by L by 4. That's all. Beautiful, isn't it? So, whenever you are solving center of mass, you have to use the logic here. Right? Not just blindly like thinking where is the mass distributed. No. The whole mass may be somewhere. But when you were given different bodies, right? You have to take the center of mass of the body, not the whole body into consideration. You are not taking the whole body into consideration. Now you are not talking like, and this is a triangle which is forming with 3 centers. No, not like that. So here these two are there, means center of mass is here, which is 4 kg. And now here the center of mass is like again 4 kg. Now the shift here is L by 4. Is it not? So beautiful. Suppose if you have 2 kg here and 2 kg here also, what will happen? There will not be any shift in the center of mass. Center of mass lies exactly here only, because equal masses are distributed at equal distances from the center of mass in all 4 directions. Right? So therefore there will not be any shift, if at all, at A and D also, if you keep 2 kgs masses. Right? So make a note of this. This is all for today. Please subscribe and follow all the videos in order to get the concepts clearly and then being able to apply the concepts on the problems, right, at the time of examination. Definitely it helps you a lot. See you again in the next video.